Well guys, here we are for the like goal single summon. We hit the goal yet again yesterday. Second video, second streak hit, well second goal hit, so we're getting a little bit of a streak started. So here you go, here is the bonus single for today. Still going to be doing it on the Kale and Caulifla banner while it's here, in case I can pull them, or ideally I really want to pull Tech Caulifla, but we've got Goku coming in on his own. Let's see. One day I know, even if it's not in the first few, one day we're going to pull some hot fire off of these singles, but you guys keep hitting those like goals. Oh, we got a screen crack, so we're actually getting an SSR. Oh, Bulla. I think I can actually use her as well. Excellent. So let's have a quick look here. Well, there you go, day 2, and we're already getting a nice fire pull here. As you can see from the light goal on the side, which will be there when the main video starts, we are on 150 for today. Now, that's a little bit higher than yesterday, but obviously, as you guys can see from the title, this is another no items run video, and obviously they always get quite a lot of views. Yeah, there you go, I still needed 2 copies of her, so we can get her to 90%. So thank you all for hitting that like goal, and I will see you at the start of the next video if we can get 150 likes on this one. So here we go. Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and it's been a while, but we are finally dropping another category stage of Super Battle Road done with no items used. So as you can obviously see by the title, today we are doing the Universe Survival Saga stage. So shout out to everyone who set their Jiren leaders for me. This did actually take quite a few more attempts than I had expected. A lot of people, I think, are under the impression that, like, because Kale and Caulifla are so good, that, like, once you have them, this stage is very easy to do with no items. But as you can see from, I think we cut it close a little bit in this run. That is not the case. Now, we got very lucky here because we're actually able to attack first. Because one thing that you will notice if it comes up at any point, I can't remember every single rotation from this particular run, but if they get attacked before they get off their bunch of supers, they take quite a lot of damage. They get pretty much all of their defense from the stacking effects from their super attacks. So obviously, because we are fighting against Universe Survival Saga category enemies, they always get a guaranteed super. And then when we get onto the second and third fight, we do have a pure Saiyan enemy in each of those stages as well. So that allows them to get an extra additional super. I actually can't remember, so we'll have to see. I wonder if we ever get the jackpot. Like, if you hit the RNG for their additional from the hidden potential system, that means they can do 4 super attacks and 1 normal attack in that one turn, as long as there is a Universe Survival Saga and a pure Saiyan enemy. But you can see here, even units like Jiren, who's obviously generally quite a tanky unit, he's taking 40k from normals there. And then we've brought the Bota Magea. He might seem like an odd choice to some people, but he is quite good defensively. He raises his defense when he super attacks. But more importantly, if you are under, I think is it 70% HP? I actually haven't double checked it, but if you're under a certain amount of HP, it's either 70% or 80%, I think, he guards against all types. So obviously on the first turn when you're on full health, he's not as useful, but once you start losing a little bit of health, that ability comes in very handy, because he will take the same damage from basically everyone on the rotation. And then obviously when he gets his super off, he gives himself a nice little defensive buff as well. So, of course, typical Super Battle Road, Bergamo survived with the tiniest sliver of health, which means we have to take an extra 60k damage on Blue Evolution Vegeta there. But there you go. So, obviously, talking about the rest of the team, we got MVP 17. I mean, he is the MVP, but no, he is a unit that is very useful. Not only is he a good unit just in and of himself, like especially Rainbow, like he can hit pretty hard, but he lowers attack. And then he's also a support unit for the rest of the rotation and gives them a nice defensive buff, which obviously on Super Battle Road, any extra defense you can get is much welcomed. And of course on a no items run, it's almost crucial, because You don't want to be taking extra damage when you don't have to. And you can see here, even with double Jiren rotation, we didn't get the stun to trigger. So this run, I was sort of unlucky. I think there is definitely one very clutch moment that the stun actually does go off, but this definitely wasn't a super lucky, like, constant Jiren stuns run. Because, I mean, if you get that super lucky RNG, then technically this could be quite an easy no items run. I did actually have on one of the attempts, which I've never seen before, the first rotation had Jiren, the second rotation had the other Jiren, and so then of course on the third rotation the first Jiren came back again, and they stunned all 3 times in a row. So that basically meant I took out all 3 of these guys without losing a single bit of health. But then of course, just to show Super Battle Road be Super Battle Road, went straight into the second fight, didn't stun, and then got super attacked like 3 turns in the first slot and died immediately. So the RNG is, you are at the cruel fate of RNG when you do these no item runs a lot of the time. So obviously Kale and Caulifla, the longer the event goes on, the more super attacks they get off, the higher they build their chance to dodge, and then of course the higher they build their defense as well. But I mean, you can see here from, this is by no means like a absolute annihilation run. We're quite significantly under half health at this point. Get the transformation with Blue Evolution Vegeta, but I think we are basically going into the final turn here. Yeah, he's almost dead already, so we can go ahead and put Vegeta in the first slot just in case he decides to super. I'm sure I will do that, right? I won't leave Bergamo in the first slot. Come on. That's the big brain play here. Because Bergamo, our health is low enough, well, I should say Bota Magetta, sorry, because our health is low enough that they will guard, but on the off chance that he super attacks, they would still take quite a lot of damage, whereas at least Vegeta does have type advantage. So go ahead and drop that so we can pick up all of those int orbs, just try and claw back as much health as we can, and then yeah, no super, so we only take double digits. Thanks to, obviously, we got type advantage, we got MVP 17 on the rotation to give us extra defense, and then yeah, Blue Evolution Vegeta wipes out the final opponent, and we can move on to stage 2. So stage 2 is, I would say, probably the hardest of the 3, simply for the fact that you have 5 enemies. So it's not uncommon when I was doing attempts at this that you can just get like 3 super attacks in this first turn alone. So here we do get very lucky and Jiren gets the stun. So that of course allows us to get Kale and Caulifla to start building up their defense without having to worry about them taking damage. And then of course Jiren does get the automatic crit against stunned enemies. So I think the main plan is to keep Kale and Caulifla on rotation with Jiren. So I'm just trying to look at the orbs because there's no good way to get them their 18 key super if we have them in the front slot, because yeah, there's just not enough key, and obviously we want Jiren to super because he gets guaranteed crits, so the orbs not really helping us out on this rotation, but at least we can get a super with him. And then with Kale and Caulifla in the middle, we can't get their 18 key super, but at least we can actually get a super with them. So I think I do focus everyone. Yeah, everyone focus on hit. So the Super Battle Road lineups are sometimes a bit misleading on the category stages. Like on the mono stages when they dropped, the enemies to the far right were always the weaker ones. Now I don't know how that compares for HP, but after having done a few runs on this stage, hit, I would say, definitely hits the hardest out of all of the units on this particular fight. So obviously for right now it makes sense to try and get him out of the way as quickly as possible. And then obviously, like we said at the beginning, Kale and Caulifla, now that we have a Pure Saiyan enemy as well as a Universe Survival Saga enemy, they get a bunch of additional super attacks guaranteed, which of course stacks up their defense multiple times, ready for the next turn when the enemies are not all stunned. And yeah, we managed to take him out, and then we even get the additional from the hidden potential system, even though it's only a normal attack. So the attacks spill over and UI Goku able to deal a little bit of bonus damage to Caulifla. Obviously the main goal will be to try and keep at least one of the Pure Saiyans alive. And Jiren actually did get another stun, so we did actually get a 2-turn in a row stun, which that's I mean, hugely beneficial. I guess, yeah, see, Kaba, because of the type disadvantage, he still has the potential to deal a fair bit of damage to our Kale and Caulifla. So I decided to hit him with MVP 17 since he lowers attack, and then we get Jiren with his guaranteed crit plus type advantage to go after Botamageta, and then just keep Vegeta focused on them as well, just so we can try and take them out. So obviously Jiren does get a guaranteed crit, he does have type advantage, but he's still... is he able to one-shot? Yeah, see, not quite able to one-shot them. So even a Rainbow Jiren, guaranteed crit, and then Blue Evolution Vegeta comes through with the crit. Takes the 2 guaranteed additional normal attacks though to actually finish off Botamageta, but then that leaves us in a very good position here, because now we have only the Pure Saiyan enemies left, and we can put, yeah, Kale and Caulifla in the middle. That means they're going to get off another at least 3 super attacks. That's another 3 stacks of their defense. So really the only thing we even need to be remotely worried about is if Kaba super attacks Kale and Caulifla. So I think if I'm smart here, yeah, grab the blue orb so we can grab the in orbs with them, just to try and, like I say, get back as much HP as possible. With the no item runs, like obviously when you're doing a normal run, if you're just trying to beat it, like to get it done, it's always good to try and save the Dokkan attack for when it is the most tactical. But obviously with a no items run, you start to get to a certain point where you desperately need a heal. So even if it means Dokkan attacking at the end of the stage when there's only 1 enemy left, if it takes us from like super low HP to basically back to full, ready to go into the last fight, then that's perfectly fine. So obviously ideally I would like to try and avoid the Dokkan attack, because if we can get it going straight into the final fight, then obviously that is a huge bonus, because we can start off with massive amounts of damage dealt to all of the enemies. Because the final fight of course is UI Goku, Blue Evolution Vegeta, MVP 17 and Golden Frieza, and they are all very tough. Like, it's not like some of the other stages and some of the other categories where one of them is considerably weaker. I think MVP 17 is the weaker of the 4, but even so he doesn't go down easy. So if we can get the Dokkan attack in the final fight, that would be very good. But obviously Kale and Caulifla are going absolutely crazy on STR Caulifla with that type advantage. We take her out, and then Jiren actually gets the stun again. We actually did get, watching it back now, we definitely did get 1 or 2 more stuns than I thought. Obviously the first fight, I don't think we stunned at all, did we? But in this second one, we've actually had a couple. So Jiren actually pulling his weight and coming through with the stuns. And now I'm just trying to avoid picking up same type orbs. And then I grabbed that one with 17 just for the little bit of HP. And that pushes us right to the brink, but I think I was pretty confident at this point that we were going to take these guys out here. So I let the Dokkan bar get pushed right to the top, so we will be ready to go in the last fight. Because yeah, MVP 17 has type advantage over Kale here, so he should take her out. Yeah, doesn't even need a crit, finishes her off. So yeah, that means we can go into the 3rd fight with the Dokkan attack literally ready to go. But we are only, what, we're just over 50% HP, not even at 55%. So the best, most possible thing that could happen here is, bam, there you go, Jiren getting the stun. So this is huge, because obviously Jiren gets a guaranteed crit. So what better way to fire off a Dokkan attack than to guarantee the most possible damage. So he can hit 17 pretty darn hard, and then if we follow up that attack with Kale and Caulifla, they should finish off 17 if because I don't think he will die just to the Dokkan attack. These guys are very tanky. I had actually gotten to the last stage and Dokkan attacked once before, with UI Goku, I think. And I was quite surprised how little damage it did to all 4 enemies. So at least Jiren does have type advantage over 17, so he should deal quite a lot of damage with this guaranteed crit. Which of course, the reason this works out so great is obviously the fact that because they're stunned as well, so we have no chance of dying before the next turn when we then get the heal from the Dokkan attack. So, but look at this, Jiren actually really pulling his weight here, gets an additional super, which of course is also a guaranteed crit. So I think he actually takes out 17. We should be attacking UI Goku. Yeah, look at that. So additional super after the Dokkan mode, and Jiren just takes out 17 all by himself. Just 1 shot, well, 2 shots I guess. Finishes him off, and now of course Kale and Caulifla are about to bust out a plethora of super attacks here. Crits as well. That's one of the best things. I'm so happy that I managed to pull a dupe for them, because even without one they are incredibly good. But yeah, when you're able to get crits on these multiple supers, hey, and they even got the bonus additional normal and actually finished him off with it. So pretty crazy. 1 turn with the Dokkan attack, that additional from Jiren, we've taken out 2 of the 4 enemies, and we should start the next turn on full health. So at this point, this is where I was kind of pretty sure that it was going to be a win. But then of course you see rotations like this, which, as I've talked about many times before in Super Battle Road, they could very easily both super attack in this first slot. And whilst Goku has type advantage over Golden Frieza, Vegeta would still do quite a bit of damage to him. And one thing I did notice from these runs, obviously this is the first turn that they've actually been able to attack. Golden Frieza was pretty super attack happy. So yep, there he goes. So fortunately Vegeta didn't super though. So we've got type advantage, still 110k. So that is a lot of health that we just lost straight away in the first spot, even after healing back to full. So what are we actually on here? I've got Jiren to attack Frieza just because if we don't, like, we don't want to count on a crit, otherwise he won't do a huge amount of damage to Vegeta. And as you can see, he didn't get the crit there, so it's probably the right choice. And then Boba Magetta. Look at this, typical Super Battle Road again. He survives with a tiny sliver of health, and so because we were on full health at the turn, at the start of the turn, Boba Magetta did not get their passive to activate, and so they took quite a little bit of damage. At least they dodged one of the attacks. And here we go. So this again, this is where it kind of gets sketchy. Like, they've super attacked a couple of times, so their defense has been stacked up. But if Golden Frieza super attacks again here, or to be fair, even if Blue Evolution Vegeta super attacks, it is very possible that we could die. But whew, the girls come through and they dodge all 3 of the attacks. Obviously, the more they attack, the more that builds up their passive. And when it gets to max, they have a 66% chance to dodge, which pretty good, 2/3 chance to dodge. And it came through there, dodging the super attack from Blue Evolution Vegeta, because I'm fairly sure that that would have killed us if that had connected. So now we get to fire off these super attacks against Frieza. Because Vegeta was alive at the start of the turn, we still get the extra bonus attack. So we're not getting crits though, unfortunately. So Frieza is still alive. Yeah, still no crits. So unfortunately not a huge amount of damage dealt by the girls here. But he didn't super, so their defense is stacked up so high now that even with type disadvantage they just take double-digit damage. And then Jiren going to come through. Oh, getting another additional super as well. Is this going to be enough to finish off Golden Frieza? He doesn't have a huge amount of health left. Hey, there we go. It was enough. So there you go. We came a little bit close, but Jiren definitely put in some work. Actually got a few stuns. Not in the first fight, and then literally only once in the last fight. But right at the beginning where it really counted, so we could get off that Dokkan attack. So that was very, very good indeed. And there you go. We even beat our best time as well. So, oh, by 30 seconds. But there you go. That is another stage of Super Battle Road completed with no items used. As you can see, we have the like goal, the thing that I've started for this new year. If we hit 150 likes on this video, then the next video will start off with a bonus single summon. I'm pretty sure the last one hit the goal, so you will have seen one at the beginning of this one. But I did record this run first. I spent quite a few hours over this Saturday trying to record a couple of different stages, and so there you go. Another one in the books. So let me know what you guys think down below. Have you done this stage, like obviously with items or without items? What teams did you use? I know some people out there have been lucky enough to pull multiple copies of Kale and Caulifla and have them with their TUR as well. Tech Caulifla is insanely good on this stage because every enemy is a Universe Survival Saga enemy, so she cannot be hit. She just dodges every single attack that gets thrown at her. So obviously for a no items run, she is super useful, but unfortunately for me, I was not able to pull her. So, but there you go. It is what it is, as they say. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.